we'll try. We'll try. We can do steel ships, or sorry, coal ships first. Honestly, we can just do it in the order. Coal, dub, steel. We can do it in the order. So let's see. What ship do we run into first? That's coal. Shit. Well, we can Neustrashimy. Where the hell is Neustrashimy? Dude, finding them in this mess is gonna be interesting, isn't it? There's Neustrashimy. Neustrashimy for coal. Neustrashimy is actually a really strong destroyer. It's got a super heal, it's got great conceal, it's more of a torpedo boat than a gunboat, but honestly, its gimmick is the fact that it's a zombie destroyer. It's almost impossible to kill. It's super, super good. I think in fact I would probably put it like A+ in terms of strength, like, or A. For tier 9, Neustrashimy is just really, really strong. The problem, however, is that it's super expensive. It's a tier 9 destroyer that literally costs you more than most, well, all tier 10 ships, and you pay a huge premium compared to these. So in terms of, do I think it's worth getting for coal? No. It's a good ship, but for the cost, this is one of those ships, if it had more coal, it would be higher. If you have a shit ton of coal, unlimited amounts, it's fine. But if you don't have it, there's no way you should be spending, like if you're struggling for coal, there's no way you should be spending 300,000 coal to get this thing. So it goes in a B, because this is, it's just overpriced. This thing is just overpriced for what it does. It's overpriced because it used to be a steel ship, not because it's so super, super powerful. It was a steel ship that was moved into coal, and because of that, it now has an inflated cost to make up for all the people that spent money on doing it. What do you mean new list? What's wrong here? Oh, here it is. Okay, nothing changed here. Good. So that would be my Neustrashimy. Immelmann, we don't touch. CVs, you shouldn't buy CVs. Those are a scourge on the 7 seas. No one wants to see you. No one likes you if you play CVs. Your mom doesn't love you. Just no CVs. Napoli. Napoli is actually pretty hilariously strong. It's a ship, but it's a ship that is significantly stronger in competitive, significantly stronger in ranked, whereas in randoms it's a bit hit and miss. The guns are honestly pretty junk. The secondaries are varying usefulness. Napoli's biggest gimmick is the fact that the ship is just horrendously hard to kill. The guns are underwhelming. The guns are terrible. Honestly, the guns are really, really terrible. Napoli guns just don't do anything. The DPM, shit, can we look at the DPM here? Let's see, filter. If you guys want to see like damage output on Napoli. Let's see, can I find Napoli here? Let's do main battery shells, HEDPM. There's Napoli. You have worse HDPM than Petro and Stalin. And your APDPM, well, once again, you got worse APDPM than a Venezia. So yeah, the guns are basically a joke. Napoli's gimmick is the fact that it's hard to kill. That's the gimmick. I think it's still absolutely worth getting. Like you can, if your team doesn't want you to play Petro because they don't like winning or because it's banned, then you can play Napoli instead. Or you can just play it in ranked. If for some reason you're bored of winning easily with the Petro Pablos, then you can instead play the Napoli. Napoli is just a cruiser that has battleship tankiness, except it's got stealth, it can disengage very easily. It's nasty to deal with. But I still don't think, especially if we take random battles into account, I don't actually think it's that very, very powerful. So your mileage will vary. Is like, what do you want? I'm trying to find it. Where the hell is the Napoli? Here's tier 10s. Where's the Napoli? Am I blind? Chat, am I blind? Is the Napoli not on here? Hello? Am I blind, chat? I literally can't find it. This list might be a bit bad because this list is made by someone who apparently wants me to play really, really old games. You might have the wrong link. That is literally the exact same link. Literally the exact same link. Literally the exact same link. I can copy it, paste it. Same link. Oh, he updated it. Maybe it just didn't update. Okay, Nostrum went here because it's overpriced. Hello. Nostrum went here because it's overpriced. And Napoli is Okay, where's Napoli? Hello? How did this fix my issue? Okay. Napoli, I would probably, honestly, for its performance in ranked and stuff, I'd probably throw it into A, but considering if you're not playing comp, there's not a whole reason for you to want it. If you want a tanky cruiser, Petra exists. And as long as Petra exists, do you really want to spend coal on it? Not really. So my justification throws that into B as well, because it's hard to justify getting the Napoli when you can play something else, unless you're getting it specifically because Petra isn't allowed. Like, besides that, if you're not playing it before the tankiness, you wouldn't be getting it for the guns, because Napoli guns are a meme. So, yeah. Napoli goes into B. We'll move it once this filter list gets updated. Yoshino? No. Yoshino is just... Yoshino has a gigantic citadel. It's horrendously vulnerable. Yoshino is only good at one thing and one thing alone, and that's sitting in the back and spamming HE. You will occasionally see Yoshinos close the distance and drop their torpedoes. You will also see those same Yoshinos explode in a nice, beautiful fireball, which lets you know just how well that tactic works. Yoshino is kind of like an oversized Zhao, except without the concealment, the nimbleness, and all these other things. A lot of people bring Yoshino to rank. These are people who aren't interested in winning rank. They just want to grief you. They hate you. So Yoshino, I mean, basically D tier. I don't know why you'd spend coal on it. I can kind of justify spending coal on a ship if it gives you some sort of really unique, cool playing style that you don't normally have. But Yoshino is literally a long-range HE spammer. That's what Yoshino does. Except it has a huge citadel. It burns for 60 seconds. It doesn't have any AA, it doesn't have anything going for it. It's got the long-range torpedoes, but you're paying a lot of coal for a mediocre long-range HE spammer that's not even particularly good at what it does. I don't understand the value of spending coal on this. I don't understand. I got it when it came out. Yeah, most people add this ship because it's old. But honestly, compared to anything else, like, why aren't you playing a Goliath? You can torpedo, you got better stealth, you got super heal, you're super tanky, you can do YOLOs, you can do... You're still an HE spammer, but you're also significantly more useful. So... I don't really see the value of spending coal on this right now. It's a long-range HE farmer. That's what it does. That's literally what it does. You can citadel ships with Yoshino's AP. I'm sure you can. Absolutely. I mean, the caliber is a bit larger. But once again, you're not going to get any sort of incredible damage output out of this thing. Even like the HE, even the HE damage output. The thing is, you sit at range and you throw out HE. That's what you do. But you suffer from all the weaknesses of a battle cruiser, but you don't really get the armor of a battle cruiser. Yoshino is fun to shoot because you get a lot of damage on it. You get the HE effect from the bigger caliber. That's true. That's true. Okay. Did you add Napoli to it so I can update it? We can refresh. Let's see. Is Napoli here? Napoli's here. Nice. Okay, let's move Napoli up here into B. Once again, I'm rating this. I'm not rating this based on strength. I hope people understand that this is not based right on strength. This is, people ask me, is it worth getting the ship? And I'm justifying why some ships might be worth and why some ships, in my opinion, are not worth getting. If it was based on just pure strength, carry capacity, they would be higher up, of course. But I'm sure people will misunderstand and be very upset, and I like that. That's good. Let's see. Salem. Salem is basically, well, you saw my tier list on the Salem. Salem goes really high up there. Salem would be a strong B tier ship. It's just very, very powerful. Des Moines is super strong. Salem trades off some things with the Des Moines. Salem, for example, has a really shitty radar, only 8.5 kilometers. Salem cannot slot both hydro and radar at the same time. You have to pick one or the other, and those are the two best consumables. So you're stuck with eh. On the other hand, and Salem doesn't get the legendary mod either, but on the other hand, Salem gets a super heal. The super heal is a questionable value because if you get Citadel or get huge pen damage, you can't actually heal that much, but if you're fighting some HE spammers, it's basically god tier, and that's what helps it. So, but I mean, should you get it? If you don't have the Des Moines, and you're never planning on grinding the Des Moines, no interest in getting it ever, you're not even going to touch the heavy US cruisers, which would be a shame because you miss out on stuff like the Baltimore. But provided you never want to get them, then Salem is basically A. For you get the Des Moines gameplay, everything about the Des Moines that is fantastic. You get the incredible guns, and you still get the good armor, the good gun setup, the concealment, the super heal. But on the other hand, if you own Des Moines, then it's basically C tier, D tier. Like you're paying for a ship. Oops, you're paying for a ship that you already have. You're literally paying for a ship that you already have, just a slight side grade of it. So this is one of those. You have no American premiums. Salem is a great captain trainer, great potential moneymaker. Or you just want the premium ship to grind. You don't have the Des Moines. Then it's basically A tier. So Salem goes up. Depends on this, like depending on what you have. It's really hard to place. In terms of strength, it's up here. In terms of do you have Des Moines, do you have other American premiums, then it's down here. It's not an easy ship to place. Marceau. Well, Marceau is just God tier. Honestly, Marceau just goes straight to the top. Marceau is an S tier destroyer, and it, unlike the Kleber, it does play differently. Where the shit is Marceau? Is Marceau also missing from this list? I think Marceau is also missing from this list. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, Marceau probably goes straight into. Why is this OP? It should be S, because this isn't ranking them based on performance, but cool. Man, this guy who made this list, you can tell he plays really old games because he's not very good at this. But that's fine. We forgive him. But yeah, Marceau goes up into S. It has Kleber's fantastic hull, but it's different. Unlike Kleber, you don't have the railguns, but in return you have huge consistent DPM. You can lob shells over islands, which Kleber can't. But on the other hand, you have longer range torpedoes, you have better AA, you have better conceal. It's a side grade from Kleber, but both Marceau and Kleber are really, really good. The DPM on the Marceau is completely filthy, and I mean, the HE DPM is up here. The AP DPM, well, it's up here. So in terms of just pumping out damage in the ship, it's completely hilarious. And when it comes to starting fires, basically burning ships to death, it ranks up right here with these guys, 9.6. And unlike all the other ones, it's extremely hard to hit as well. So it's just super, super brutal. How is Salem worse than Napoli? Don't you start. Did you listen to anything I said, Fire? Did you just open the list and go? I disagree. Okay, let's see. Is Marceau here now? Marceau is here. I bet my Fire just opened the list and went, I disagree. I just opened the stream. I have no idea. I fucking guessed it. Classic. And let's see. What else do we have? Kearsarge. Kearsarge is insane. Kearsarge is the only ship that is potentially more misplayed than the Yoshino. It's literally Montana. It's a Montana guns at tier 9, except you got rocket planes and you can spot for yourself. In fact, you can line up a strike with your rocket planes and then recall as you're in the attacking animation. Go back to your battleship, use your own plane spotting on the ship that you're striking, and you can shoot it. So you literally spot for yourself with 12 Montana guns. The problem is the vast majority of the player base is brain dead, and they think that because it has planes, it should play like a carrier. Sorry, NC guns. 12 NC guns. So instead of, people think that because it has planes, you should play like a carrier and sit in the very back of the map and throw out rocket planes every couple of minutes at the enemy, and then they do 0 damage and they perform like junk, and that's literally the reason why the ship is so low up there. But Kearsarge is basically, I would put it in S if it wasn't for the fact that it brings planes to the game, and anything that brings planes to the game is disgusting, so we put it down into A. Otherwise it would be up here in S because it's really, really strong. It's really, really strong. Also, it's ugly as sin. Honestly, it looks like it has a tumor growing out of it, so big weaknesses there. In terms of performance and value, though, it's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. Tulsa, oh, I hate Tulsa. Honestly, Tulsa, whew, I had such hopes for Tulsa. I was like, yeah, mini Des Moines, let's go, woo, mini Des Moines. And then Wargaming was like, yeah, well, we're gonna make the radar shit, and you're gonna stick with the Des Moines dispersion that is junk, so you need plenty of turrets to actually make it work. And honestly, C maybe, like, it's better, more cool, more fun to play, like something than Yoshino. But Tulsa was something I was hyped for Tulsa. Same, yeah. Honestly, that was a ship I was like, yeah, this is gonna be cool, like mini Des Moines, let's go. But it's nothing like mini Des Moines. If shit, Baltimore at tier 8 feels better than Tulsa. It's just super frustrating, and it's not fun. Honestly, in terms of strength, Yoshino is a better ship to spend money on, or spend coal on. In terms of strength, Yoshino is better. It's just that the fact that Yoshino's gameplay is whereas Tulsa actually is kind of like get in there and do action. But okay, let's see. Nice haircut, thank you. I mean, I wish I could take props for the styling, but that was the barber who did it, so. Okay, let's see. Carrot. Carrot is, I mean, probably C tier as well. It's pretty fast. It's moderately tanky. Reload is obnoxious though. Reload is really obnoxious. It takes so long to do anything in it. You kind of sail around and you spam HE, but unlike the Yoshino, it doesn't explode instantly. That doesn't make it particularly good. Where the hell is the carrot? Am I blind chat? Tier 9s, tier 9s, tier 9s, tier 9s, tier 9s. Sugima Hizen. Baiji. Marble. Are we missing the carrot? I think we're missing the carrot from this list. First line? Oh no, I'm blind. Here, there's the carrot. Maybe a C tier? I know, like, what did carrot even have? Did it have any consumables for it? No, it didn't have anything special. It's fast, but the reload on it, the reload was the thing that just, you play it and you do so little. That was really the struggle with it. Like, let's see, what kind of DPM does this thing actually do? I'm curious. I've never actually looked at the DPM. I can't imagine it being very high. Where's carrot? Carrot, there it is. What's the HE DPM? Yeah, shit. You know, when a Johan de Witt has better HE damage output than you do, that's when you know it's a tragedy. That's the, oh my god, that I didn't even know. That's like significantly worse. That's like 10% worse than Johan de Witt. And Johan de Witt is already a joke. Yikes. And it's got terrible firing angles. Honestly, it might even be closer to D after looking at that. I can't imagine why I'd want to play it. Why would I want to, more importantly, why would I want to spend coal on it? So I can get a French ship that's significantly worse than the St. Louis? That plays similarly though. I mean, the St. Louis is here, but St. Louis is stealthy fast, reload booster, just a pretty damn powerful ship. No, honestly, I don't see. I'm trying to rate this based on is it worth getting for coal, and no. No. The AP shells, hello. Does it have something special in terms of AP? I say AP shells. Well, first of all, let's look at dispersion. What's the dispersion like? Okay, the dispersion is Eger levels. But it doesn't have any improved pen angles. No, it doesn't have any improved pen angles. It's standard angles, standard fuse. Is the penetration? The penetration, it looks pretty good. So it's got pretty punchy AP. Let's see, the AP is, where is it? Here. It's pretty punchy. Pretty punchy at 16. You can sit that on most things. 10k alpha. Okay, but the alpha is cool and all. But the DPM, that doesn't mean the DPM is good. Like the DPM is, the AP DPM is still here. What's the real? 25-second reload. Shit, it's kind of like a junky battleship. One-shotted Riga at 21 kilometers. Okay, well, you know, bro, seriously. I one-shotted a CV at the start of the game. Does that mean CVs are weak? Or that battleships dumpster CVs? Like, come on. I wish people wouldn't use terrible examples. Like, this one time at band camp, I caught a fish that was 2 meters long. Like, okay, that's fucking fantastic, but that's completely irrelevant to the discussion. I think we might put it here just for the AP penetration. But I think it's honestly, I think it's a pretty junk ship, and I would never recommend spending coal on it. This one time I saw Nagata dumpster Musashi. How broken is Nagata? I mean, it's not like it consistently does it anyway. It's got Eger dispersion. Hello? Why would you spend coal on it? Honestly, it just... yeah. Why would you spend coal on it though? 10 to 12k average per AP salvo. Necrobull, what is your in-game name? I want to look at your Eger stats, because if you average 10 to 12k per volley and you reload 25 seconds, you must be averaging some absolutely insane numbers in that chip. And I want to look at your Eger, or sorry, at your Carrot, and I want to learn how incredibly broken that chip is. Can you tell me what your in-game name is? Necrobull. These better be like 300k average numbers in this thing right now. Better be like 300k average numbers. Is the not EU? Is it the name? No? What? That's Russia. Russia. Okay, here it is. Okay, let's see. Where's Eger? This better be like the most insane Eger damage in history. Oh, sorry, Carrot. Carrot. Where's Carrot? Carrot. 104k. Not bad, actually. Not bad. Is this even solo? I am pleasantly surprised. It's in fact... Is it your best performing? Oh, it's solo. Look at this guy. Big dick, big dick. Where did it go? Shit, I lost it. Was it 48 battles? Where is it? Here. Look at this guy. Where is it? Carrot. 104,000. Okay, not quite 10 to 12k average per volley, because otherwise you're only shooting 10 volleys per game, which I think is a pretty short time to be spending shooting. I mean, I'm really questioning some other things here. Have you ever considered that maybe this playstyle just suits you really, really well, instead of it actually being really, really good? Like, that would make a lot more sense than, for example, your Minnesota win rate is better than your Izuma win rate, which is interesting to me. I think you just like HE spammers. I think you just like HEs, long-range HE spammers. Long-range spammers. I think that might be it. I think that's... I respect your opinion. I still think the ship is junk, though. I still think the ship is junk. But I respect that you find success in it. You find success in the odd ships. Just low sample size win rate, which doesn't mean anything. 48 battles is starting to get some idea. Also with 48 battles, if you average 102k, you're obviously getting some work done in the ship. And I mean, when someone says, I think it's like a really good tier 9 ship, and then their stats show that it's actually a ship that they perform extremely poorly, and it kind of kills their argument. But for this guy, it was probably his best performing tier 9. So obviously there is something there that he really enjoys in it. Okay, let's see. Marco Polo. What was Marco Polo? What was Marco Polo's gimmick? Isn't it just like really shit? Well, it's an Italian BB, so really shit is kind of implied, but is there anything else about it? 406mm sap. Okay. That's incredible. 406mm sap. Wow. Is it a D or a C? Again, what's our dispersion like? What is our dispersion like? Where's horizontal? How's the vertical? It's not that bad. It's okay. What's our Sigma? 1.9. Okay, so the Sigma is okay. The reload is kind of junk though. Whoa, it has the second worst AP DPM. The second worst AP DPM. But it's got... I guess it got sap DPM. So you just run around shooting sap in it. And that's it. Would I want to spend... Vincent Vega, understandable. Does it have insanely good AP pen? Insanely good AP pen. Interesting. Let's watch. Does it have insanely good AP pen? It's got pretty good AP pen for sure. Actually, not bad. It's getting close to Izuma, and Izuma's got insane AP pen. This thing citadels across the map. Shit, it overtakes the Izuma at 18. Okay, so the AP pen is not the... The AP pen is not the... I didn't actually know that it had such good pen on the guns. But it's still Italian, and it still doesn't have HE or any tools against DDs at all. So... I mean, the dispersion is also, well... It's... It is what it is. Like, that's really it. It is what it is. Whew. Horizontal dispersion sitting up here isn't exactly optimal. That means wide as shit. Sigma is there to like compensate, but I remember playing the ship and honestly not being very impressed by it. At what range are these? 18 kilometers. I don't know. I guess if you want an Italian premium, we'll throw it into C. We'll throw it into C. I struggle to see a reason, like any particular reason why you'd really want the Marco Polo. Like, is there what would be the driving force to get the Marco Polo channel? What would be the like, yeah, Marco Polo? What can I find? Oh, am I blind? Am I blind? Where the fuck's the Marco Polo? Where is it, chat? I can't see it. Hello? Am I blind? Blind dude? There it is. Yeah, I think we'll put it in C. I think I made a vid on it, and I think I said it's Deadeye dependent. Like, if it wasn't for Deadeye, this thing would be shit. And now Deadeye is gone, and I think I played it after that, and it was kind of terrible. They buffed the Sigma since then. Did they buff it enough to make up for it? It was buffed and it's still not good. Interesting. Pretty big Sigma buff to be fair, but yeah, honestly, I don't know. Like I'm trying to find a reason why should you spend coal on this. Like this is people ask me, should I use my coal on this, and I'm trying to find a justification for getting it, and no, like. If you want to brawl, there's the German battle cruiser tier 9, which is insane. You can push in with the Sovietsky Soyuz if you want. If you just want to smash people across the map, the Izuma is completely bonkers at doing it. Like, I don't see the point. I don't see the point. Z44, well, that's extremely easy. Z44 is possibly one of the junkiest tier 9 premiums in the game. This one goes straight into D tier. Straight into D tier. Good lord. Good lord. Absolute trash. Like this ship is a tragedy. This ship is an absolute tragedy. I cannot like sheesh. Like, where do we sit? Yeah, it has some AP DPM, right? Because it's German. But the problem is, of course, it doesn't have any improved pen angles on it, does it? Z44 here does no improved standard pen angles. And you get over pens with them. But even worse, so you're forced to use HE against other DDs, and if you're forced to use HE in this thing, well then you're stuck with this HE. And I mean, when a Neustrashimy pumps out more damage than you do, that's a level of tragedy I'm not sure I can even vocalize. Because you don't have a heal like he does. It's like Neustrashimy without healing will outgun you. Imagine. Like it's just, and you got 5 guns, and the gun angles are poor as well. So you struggle to even use all your guns. Most of the time your DPM is going to be even worse. I think you had what, reload booster to try to help it. But I think even didn't you have concealment issues? Where's Z44? Yeah, he sits here. It sits here. So Neustrashimy's got a 400-meter buffer over you, and the plane spotting was higher as well. Torpedo wise, your torpedo DPM is here. 10k more than Neustra. That's pretty much it. Honestly, it just doesn't bring anything. I think it didn't even have hydro. The biggest problem with the Z44 really is that the Z46 is in the tech tree, and it does everything the Z44 does, but basically better. It's the significantly better ship. It doesn't get hydro. Oh yeah, it didn't even get the German hydro. Z46 gets it. So I don't see any reason to justify spending coal on a ship that is objectively worse than the tech tree ship that it's compared to. It's a nice hybrid. How is it a hybrid? It doesn't do damage. It has the worst damage output, like terrible damage output. How is what? Look, what? It's got 12 km torps, I guess. But I mean, torp reload isn't fast enough to give it any sort of incredible DPM values here on the torpedoes. Like this Fletcher you could call something of a hybrid. Udall is something of a hybrid. Yuguma is just a torpedo boat, but I'm pretty sure Yuguma actually outguns it, does it? Yeah, Yuguma. Where's... Oh yeah, Yuguma has... Oh my god, imagine losing to Yuguma by 30k HE DPM. Holy shit. Yeah, okay, we're not gonna look at that anymore. I stand by my case. Z44 is a pile of junk. Absolute pile of junk. Pommern. Why would you get the Pommern? Well, there was a time that Pommern was really cool. It had a lot of really spicy features like strong secondaries and torpedoes, and that was like a really cool feature, like special. Wasn't it one of the first ships that came with like hydroacoustic surge as well? I think, did it have hydro? I don't remember. Did it have hydro as well? I think it had hydro and torps and secondaries. So it was like, whoa. The downside was it has terrible firing angles. The firing angles are complete junk. And it eats massive damage from everywhere. So, but then Ruprecht came. Which has, well, better hydro, better secondaries, better torpedoes, much better DPM. It's like, oh, the concealment significantly better. AA also significantly better, I think. Actually, I'm not sure about the AA. But like, it's very hard to justify spending coal on the Pommern anymore. Now that once again the tech tree comparison is just so much goddamn better. Like in terms of gunpowder, Pommern still sits here. Like the gunpowder is better. The problem is using the guns is so hard because you have to give so much broadside. In fact, I played FTG is really good. After the buffs, FTG isn't actually that bad. But the thing is, I remember playing Pommern, and it was always like, if you want to use the secondaries, you can't use the guns. You die if you use the guns. So you sit like boot in, and you use the back turrets and use the secondaries, and that's the way you effectively deal damage. But like secondary damage output, I think the DPM just... Well, this is second. Let's see hitting DPM. Actual damage output. Giuseppe Verdi. Oh, this is so fake though, isn't it? Because it shows the 90mm as being effective, as when we all know they're not. So, Ruprecht, 77k effective DPM, 51. Jesus, that's more than 50% better. 50% more effective. That's pretty brutal, actually. And the fires per minute is higher, but you're running IFHE though, so that's not too active. Oh, Verdi has SAP, so no fires. How effective is it actually? I think you get 26mm pen, or is it 26? Yeah, on the 90. Or is no, wait, it's worse. HE would be... SAP has different pen angle. – . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . But honestly, Ruprecht is fundamentally the better ship. Once again, Pommern is one of, kind of like Salem. We're back in the Salem situation. Like, if you don't have any American premiums and you haven't played the Des Moines, Salem is A+ tier ship to get. Pommern kind of sits, I feel, the same way. If you all-round brawler, German brawler, that's pretty fun, but comes with its fair share of weaknesses, then I would say, where the shit is the Pommern? Am I blind? Hello? 29, 39, 39. Am I blind? Where's the Pommern chat? Hello? I can't see it. 2 row next to ZF6. Ah, there. Honestly, the thing is, if you have the Ruprecht is better at everything the Pommern does. So there's no reason to play it. I just posted a commentary of the Ruprecht. That thing is a monster. If they have the Ruprecht, Pommern is like here. Why would you spend coal on a inferior ship? It makes no sense. Like, a ship that does the same thing but worse, it's obsolete basically. So, and it doesn't bring something like Salem, whereas even if you have Des Moines, Salem isn't the worst option because it does have the heal, super heal. But Pommern is just basically objectively worse at everything compared to tankiness. But is it really tanky though? Because the concealment is so much worse and the firing angles are so much worse that Pommern eats so much more shit than the Ruprecht does. So I don't know about the tankiness. It's very questionable. And I'll throw it into C with the Salem, but this is once again, if you don't have the Ruprecht, Pommern is like a fun ship. Strong B probably, strong B. But what's the point of spending coal on an inferior ship? What is the point of spending coal on an inferior ship? And Flint, no. The new Pan-Asian line, the new well, these are tier 7s, I don't even want to go here, but honestly, I can cover Flint real fast, don't even bother. The new Pan-Asian line is straight up better, the jump on. The jump on is, literally has what, more range, better DPM, better torps. Like, it just, better in every possible way. So, why would you spend coal on a ship that's about to be hardcore powercraft? Hardcore powercraft. Better cost smoke. Jump on is better because jump on has the better smoke as well. Jump on smokes allows you to reposition. Flint, you're stuck in one position, and if it becomes junk, then you're screwed. Oh yeah, Moskva is coal. Moskva is coal. Moskva is actually a pretty strong ship. Moskva is like objectively a pretty damn strong ship. I think it's pretty fun. It's a shit, strong A? Probably strong A. Where's the Moskva? And you have to, the thing is though, you really have to like the Soviet playstyle for it. You really have to like the Soviet playstyle for it. Where is Moskva? There. I really have to like the Soviet playstyle. Maybe we put it in B. If you have Stalingrad, it's gonna feel pretty weak in comparison. If you have Petro, it's gonna feel significantly clumsier and more vulnerable. In fact, if you have the other Soviets, it probably goes down here. But otherwise, as a coal ship, like if you have none of them, then it probably is here. So I'm just gonna park it in B because it's still very good. It's still a very strong ship. It still has really punchy AP. Moskva is objectively better than Stalin now. I mean, Moskva is kind of tankier because of the fire prevention changes, but for random battles, being able to punish broadsides in a Stalin, shit in randoms, in ranked as well, being able to just punish broadsides with the Stalin, you dev strike things. In Moskva, you punish them and then they have to keep giving you broadside, which, to be fair, happens, but it's not as good. But Moskva is still, if you don't have any of the Soviets, it's up here. If you have them both, then it degrades a bit because it's a clumsier version. And unlike, you can still play something like a Petro if there's a CV in the game. You can't play Moskva. To be fair, you can't play Stalingrad either if he knows to just focus you. Stalin is not OP, thanks. Well, literally the fire prevention nerfed it. well, kind of accident. I'm not sure how intentional it was, but that nerf should have happened years ago. But now there's actually a way to deal with Stalin. The issue was it wasn't before. But Moskva is a very strong ship. Worth the call. The theme with many of these ships is that if you have the comparative ship, the tech tree version, then the value goes down. If you don't, then the value goes up because it's a new ship type, new way of playing, and so forth. I think that was all the coal ships, right? That was all the coal ships. Yes, we have covered the coal ships. Well done, boys. Well done. I can't wait for people to screenshot it and go, look what Flamu thinks. What an idiot. You know that's gonna happen. You know that's gonna. Why is the Salem so low? Why is the Pommern here? Oh, I hate Flamu. He's an idiot. But you know, that's what's gonna happen. You know that's what's gonna happen. You think people are gonna watch a long ass video when they can just comment on the screenshot at the end? That's the way it works. Okay. You're already doing it with my mates on Discord right now. Thanks for the content. Cheers. Glad I could help. It's already happening. Glad I could help.